Morning. Today we are going to discuss about contracts. Right. And myself, I'm Satyanarayana, lecturer in civil engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Master Plan, Hyderabad. So basically, what is contract? A contract between two persons or an organization enforced by law is called a contract. A contract invariably follows a proposal from one party and it is accepted by other one. So any mutual understanding between two parties or two persons in their contract. A defined, a defined legal relationship between tendering authorities and successful tender for execution of work. So types of contract. Okay, there are basically many types. And we are going to discuss about 5 types of contracts which are adopted for execution of work by government departments or any private entrepreneur on the nature of work as per the Indian Contract Act 1972. So, based on the nature of work, it may be sometimes work contract or stores contract or service contract. For example, work contract when it comes to civil engineering, we give works on contract basis like construction activities like buildings, bridges. Okay. In the same, in some civil engineering activities, we give missionary contracts or stores contract like supply of cement, uh, any raw material for that activities. Service contracts like we all observed in all private companies there is a housekeeping services. Okay, and sometimes missionary contracts like according to the nature of work and according to the cost of work we decide whether we have to take the missionaries on rent basis or purchase. So when we going for a rent basis, so we will enter with some agreement with that missionary. So likewise, there are contract basically defined as works contract, stores contract, and service contract. So when it comes to the work contract, so they're again classified as a piecework system, lump sum contract, item rate contract or K2 form of agreement, cost plus percentage contract, negotiated contracts, work on nomination, and departmental execution of work. So based on nature of work, based on the importance of work, we will have to decide whether which type of system we have to adopt, which suits good for that work. Okay, piecework contract. Small work up to 2000 may be carried out through the contract by piecework agreements. The agreement contains different items of work to be carried out, quantity of work, but not with the total quantity of work or time. So in these contracts, PT works, small works, okay, any small repairs, likewise, okay, we will discuss with that this work for what a fixed amount. Okay, these agreements contains only the description of various item of work to be done and rate to be paid for. Either the quantity of items nor the time limit to be complete work is given in it. So it is only work and amount for it. Okay, we in which we cannot bother about the quantity or limit of work. Detailed specification of work or total cost of work are given in the agreement. Okay, public work agreements is not a contract in true sense. Piecework agreements is not a contract in true sense because there is no security money, no penalty clause, or department may terminate work at any time by giving in notice. So it is not a sometime basically it is not a contract because, for example, likewise in our house small works, okay, repairs like that, we orally discuss and we will fix some amount and we will assign. So that type of comes under piecework system. Generally, piecework agreement is done for carrying out the urgent small work. Yes, in some cases or in some offices or in government sectors, okay, there is an emergency of works. So we cannot have a time to calling tenders. Okay, during such cases we recommend this type of systems. Okay, without calling any tenders. The contracts are selected by taking quotations after taking measurements of work done and entering in the passbook and payments are made. So piecework contract system is generally used for urgent and small work like road repairs, small repairs of buildings, etc. So basically maintenance works comes under a piecework system. Okay, likewise in our office building or in our college building, is there any repairs or plumber work, electrical works, okay, which I need to be do in an emergency basis. So, and the amount what required for it is very small, okay, and where we cannot go for a tendering system, okay. In such cases, we call a locally available contractor which is experienced in that work, and we will agree with some amount and we will assign. Sometimes it may be a lump sum or sometimes it may be according to the measurements of the work he done. Okay. Basically in our houses, okay, small repairs, carpentry, electrician, plumber work, where we cannot go for tenders, contracts. Okay, so that is a small example regarding a piecework system. Lump sum contract. Okay, and next is lump sum contract. So lump sum contract. Scope of work, construction drawings, detailed specifications are given to the tender along with the terms and conditions of the contract. Schedule of quantities may not form a part of tender documents. The tender quotes a fixed price for whole work tender. Okay. Lump sum contracts where are given to the tender along with it. So in lump sum contract, all specifications, drawings, okay, which are required for the project are given along with the terms and conditions of the contract. Before start the work, we will handle. And schedule of quantities may not be form a part of tender documents. The tender quotes a fixed price for whole work tender. So lump sum, okay, where we will fix for the work sum amount, okay, where we no need to bother about the quantities of quantities of material and all the raw materials. In this type of contract is adopted, the owner will knowing the cost of the work. So one of the advantages of the lump sum contract is that so the owner, okay, he will well known before the what of the cost which will be incurred in this project. However, this is subjected to the condition that there is no variation in the scope of work. So there is a no further deviation should be allowed. This type of contract can be considered when the scope of work is chosen when planning, designing, and working drawings are completed before inviting tenders. Okay, this type of contract can be considered when the scope of work is chosen and when planning, design, and working drawings are completed before inviting tenders. So when all the things are available before activity going to start, in such cases we go for lump sum contract. So in lump sum contract, we have to provide all the drawings and specifications of the whole project along with the tender. Okay. In lump sum contracts, there will be no deviation allowed in future. Okay. In lump sum contract, one more advantage is that the owner or customer will know what are the amount which is going to be consumed in the project before it going to be started. So it is one of the advantage that he will well aware that what much of amount will be incurred in the project and he will be well prepared with that. And the disadvantage is that there is no we cannot go for any deviations with the drawings and specifications once the agreement is executed. And next, item rate contract are K2 form of agreement. One. For major works, item rate contracts are adopted. Owner indicates quantities, units only for all items of work and the tender quotes rates for each individual items. If there are major works, item rate contracts are adopted. Yes. So major projects where there are number of different types of activities or different types of items involved in such cases and different types of activities in the project and every activity have different unit costs and different types of material. In such cases we go for a item rate contract, okay, in which we have to mention each and every items and quantities units and their rates respectively. Tenderers quotes rates for each and individual items and in which tender who is going to participate in tender, he has to rate for all items. The payment made for actual work done based on measurements. Okay, so in item rate contract, we will give all the quantities and units for all items. Okay, and every item will have it individual value rates with their quantities. So payment is also made for actual work based on the measurement. What activity, what work, what item of work, and up to what extent is completed. Based on the measurements, we made the payment. The approximate quantities of all possible items of works are worked out and are shown in the tender form. So when we are issuing a tender form, so in which all the item of works in the projects are work outed approximately and their quantities, their amounts, okay, all are work outed and shown in the tender form. And every contractor codes against each item and arrives at the final amount of the work. So every contractor who is participating, he will do the same, codes the against the each item. So owner will give some rate for every item of work. Similarly, contractor also code the his estimated quantity work against to the item of works. Okay, this is the most common type of contract system which is widely accepted. So in this type of contracts, the contractor can directly quote a percentage above or below the printed schedule of rates of the department. So department will give some rates, it will give a fix some rate, and the contractor also give some rate according to his margin. It may be above the value of the owners or below. And time is not an enforced part of the agreement. So in this, there is a time is not, and the time limit is specified in the tender. So even though there is no time limit, but every contract it will have some time bond. So there will be some time bond. Okay. For example, irrigation projects. Okay, this is like any building. Okay, for example, we take only irrigation project. Okay, there is a item of works, excavation of works. Okay, cutting, banking, and lining. Okay, and surveying the project. So for surveying there will be some amount. For excavation there will be some amount. For banking there will be some amount, and lift and lead there will be a lifting amount for earth material, and lead also will be there. Okay, so there are different types of activities in the irrigation projects: excavation, lifting, lead, and banking, cutting. Okay, lining. Okay, every item of work have their different type of cost according to unit values. So how much excavation is done, how much banking is done, how much lead is done, how much lift is done, lining is done. According to the measurement, we have to pay payment. So it's basically a item bill contract or it form of agreements are adopted for major works. Next, cost plus percentage contract. Okay, this is only known as a cost plus fees contract. In this type of contract, the contract agrees to take the work of take the work take the work of construction for a fixed percentage over actual cost of the construction. So cost plus percentage contract or cost plus fees contract. Okay, whatever the value owner or a department quoted for the project. Okay, and the contractor will quote that contract value plus the commission or percentage of the contractor. Cost plus percentage. Okay, cost of the project which is worked out by the department plus percentage. Okay, and for the contractor agrees to take the work for fixed percentage. Okay, okay, this method is contract is adopted. So where this type of contracts are suitable are adopted for emergency works, miscellaneous works, and for works in which scope cannot be defined properly at tender stage. Okay, where work is in which scope cannot be defined properly at tender stage. Okay, like where we call it. Okay, for works in which scope cannot be defined properly. Contractor is paid is actual cost of materials, labor, hiring charge of machinery, and fees towards his profit and overheads. This fees may be a percentage of total cost with or without a ceiling or lump sum amount. Okay, so then supervisor. or a work contractor, where we provide cost of, we will provide materials, we will provide labor charges, we will provide machinery charges, and we provide percentage to the work contractor for his supervision. Okay, yes, this is can be a supervision. So supervision charges, cost of the project plus for maintaining labor machineries at the work and take caring or supervising the work, we will give some fees to the that contractor. Okay, this fees may be a percentage of total cost or with or without ceiling a lump sum amount. Okay, here contractor risk is minimum and owner liability is not known on eve of commencement of work. So here the contractor risk is minimum because here contractor need not to bring any materials, need not to bear any labor charges, need not to bear any machinery charges or storage charges, anything. All the expenditures which are required for material, labor, machineries, and all are bared by the owner. And we have owner have to pay the percentage of commission or fees for the execution of work only or supervision of work only. So there is a contractor risk is minimum. Under some circumstances, this type of contract is adopted in government or private sector works. Okay. So sometimes it is called a labor contract. Okay. Because the contractor will provide labor, machineries, all things. He will take about the commission for executing that work. Next, negotiated rate of contract or work on nomination. So work on nomination is nothing but inviting the, instead of inviting the competitive bidding, private owners often choose award construction contractor with one or more selected contractors. So where there is no bidding, no invitation of, in most of the cases it is work as activated in private owners, where the owner call is known or trusted for trusted contractor for his work. The major reason for the using of negotiable contract is flexibility of the type of pricing arrangement, particularly for projects of different large size and great complexity, or for projects which is just substantially duplicate previous facilities sponsored by the owner. Okay. So major reason for negotiable contract is flexibility for the pricing arrangement. So any contractor, the owner well known and owner was happy with his reasonable price. So owner must very much willing to go for that contractor only. So he personally invite and he assign works to him. So this type of works are basically done in private sectors only. Private works. And particularly for the project of large size and great complexity are for projects with substantial. Okay. And where a complexity work where we need a expert contractor who have previously done that type of same similar work, duplicate work. He can do the best works the same way. So where the work which is great complexity, okay, which cannot be done by all contractors. Specific contractor are required, experienced contractor in that field are required. In such cases, we call the specialist contractor in what work we are going to be execute. Okay, so where specialization is required, where we go for negotiable contract. Right. And when the rate quoted by all tenders are optional, and reasons behind why we go for nomination of work on nomination. When the rates quoted by all tenders are abnormal, where rates of contractors are huge or high. When accepting the tenders, and if the tenders other than the lowest has to be accepted after negotiation. When nobody tender for work, where nobody come out for tendering for that work, where work have a little complexity, a great complexity. Any further recall of tender may not be fruitless. Okay, any further calling may not be fruitless. Generally, negotiable contract requires the reimbursement of direct project cost plus contractor fees as determined by the one of the following. So, where where we need a specialist, where we need a contractor specialization in that work. So, and when nobody willing to do that work, in such cases, we need to give cost plus contract. So sometimes we need to pay excess amount for the work what we required. So fees may be determined. Departmental execution of work. In certain cases, works are carried out by the departmental execution by the direct employment of labor. Okay. Previously, all the government departments are recruit the labor and executes themselves. When the works are to be completed immediately, this method is more suitable. And all the materials required for the construction are arranged by the department. And department officers shall have to execute the work, so has to complete within the expected time. They have to watch that no wastage of materials occurs during the progress of work. Details of work done and their measurements are entered in the measure book before making the payments. So where works are need to be complete emergency, okay, and they have to complete within a stipulated time, where they have to work in more fast. In such cases, department execute their own works by adopting self execution. They only what you call they only recruit the labor, direct labor, and they form a master role. Accordingly, they provide wages to the labor. Previously, most of the government department follow these activities, but now it is not present. No, it's not present in this. Okay. Okay. By this, we have completed the topic contracts. Okay. chapter 4. We have discussed what is contract, and based on the nature how we classify the contracts, and what are the work contracts according to our curriculum. We have discussed about piecework contract, lump sum contract, item rate contract, cost plus percentage contract, negotiable contract, and department execution of contract. So these all are contract we will come across when we are in a industry, construction industry. Hmm? So most of these contracts are regularly utilized by the departments and private agencies, private construction industries. Thank you and hope you all understood. Well, by this we are completing our contrast topic from the chapter 4 from construction management and entrepreneurship. Thank you.